Dalam BuzzPOP hari ini, kita bakal membedah My Hero Academia Season 5, episod 24. Para panelis kita hari ini terdiri daripada saya, Nadzru Iskandar daripada BuzzPOP TV, Kaki anime kita, Shazli American. What's up, bro? You gotta unmute yourself.
Oh, lupa semua mute lah. Hello.
What's up, bro? Okay, kemudian panelis kedua kita, Anri, Alwi, Kaki Manga. What's up, bro?
Salam bros.
Salam. Dan terakhir sekali, reviewer kita daripada Facebook page Creambite, Nazher. What's up, bro?
Shalom.
Nice.
Hey.
Rambut baru nampaknya. KL sekarang dah boleh potong rambut
Oh, apa dah boleh.
Apa dah boleh? Cool.
Dah boleh dah.
Ya, aku pun macam bercinta je nak pergi jumpa orang nak potong rambut. Dia kena pakai PPE, aku kena pakai mask. Macam mana kau nak shave aku kalau aku pakai mask? Macam itulah. Tapi at least ada orang nak potong rambut lah. Tidak dulu aku mengguraikan. Okay guys, so kita akan mulakan perbincangan kita hari ini dengan reaksi satu ayat. So reaksi satu ayat aku terhadap episod minggu ini adalah plot twist. Episod minggu ini berjudul Tomura Shigaraki Origin, yang menonjolkan backstory Shigaraki dengan lebih lanjut serta kesudahan yang mengejut bagi saga League of Villains versus Meta Liberation Army. So kita mulakan dengan Nazher. Apakah reaksi satu ayat kau? Silakan.
Is okay, my one word is all hell break loose. Sebab this is follow up for the previous episode yang kau boleh nampak what trigger Shigaraki yang until into that state actually. So aku sangat macam this is like the most satisfying episode yang kita nampak the motivation behind why the villain being made actually.
Betul.
This something was pretty awesome actually.
Betul. I agree because aku rasa ramai orang pernah kata hero is only as good as his villain. So boom. Shah, silakan reaksi satu ayat.
It's a very good episode, cuma aku sedih ada lalat tu tak kena lempang lah. Itu je lah.
Kita akan bincangkan tu dalam segmen kita yang seterusnya.
Yeah.
Dah hype 3 minggu. Lepas tu
Itulah.
Bos. Okay, silakan. Anri, reaksi satu ayat kau.
Mix. I like the conclusion, but the way they get there has a lot of bumps, if you ask me. Plot wise. Yeah.
Okay, hopefully dalam segmen-segmen, setiap segmen tu nanti Anri boleh share how was it done differently in the manga.
Yeah.
So kita ada beberapa komen daripada penonton di rumah. Hi guys, thank you for returning. Kita sepatutnya start 1 jam daripada sekarang, tapi meeting aku habis early. So thank you for joining. Okay, so pertama,
You guys are the best.
Yeah man. Iqbal Lee mengatakan toga, comel and thick. Thick ke? Aku rasa dia macam kurus tu.
Well,
dia tak cukup.
yeah.
Camera angle lah, camera angle.
Camera angle lah.
It's the sweater.
It's the sweater, yeah. Seterusnya Nameless mengatakan minggu depan episod pas, kan?
Actually last.
Episod last, yes.
Yeah.
Agak pelik, 25 episodes dalam season ni, sedangkan sebenarnya 24. Kenapa? Why is it so? Was it Tokyo Olympic push us or I don't know.
Actually, it's up to the company whether to stop at 24 or 25. Sometimes it goes as much as 26 with extra episodes. Like there's one manga this season, they have an extra episode for the sequel finale for some reason. So it's actually up for the studio production whether they want to invest much more budget for an extra episode or just cut short. Some anime just stop at episode 10. So we're lucky we're getting an extra episode after 24.
That's cool. Yeah. Alright, so kita ada beberapa lagi komen. Khaled Paul mengatakan great plot. And then Hakim Ashraf mengatakan Kemi lagi comel. Kemi ni yang mana satu tu? Kemi
yang lembur tu.
The one
hero
with the black jumpsuit.
Hero or villain? Hero.
Hero.
Dia pakai topi tu.
Oh,
Dia
Oh.
kelas
Remember?
Yang
Dalam
tukar
the license, the
switch.
school license thing,
Yeah.
then she melted, and that was actually Toga who had a similar power. So like,
Betul. Kemi lagi hot. Ya. Sampai Toga kena jadi Kemi. So
Yeah.
next, Azrul mengatakan all hail Shigaraki. All hail Shigaraki. Kita akan bincang itu dalam segmen terakhir kita. Dan Hakim Ashraf, antik mestilah. Yes, baru.
Yeah.
Mau lady lah, baru tik. Yeah.
Itulah bang nak.
Betul.
No.
Abang. Yang tu abang nak.
Mizuki lagi tik.
Mizuki ni mak Bakugo eh.
Yes.
Kau tak habis-habis. Dah 25 minggu je kau.
Dah habis.
Mak Bakugo.
Mama.
Okay guys, so dengan itu berakhirlah segmen ini dan kita bakal membincangkan 5 babak menarik daripada episod minggu ini. So babak menarik kita yang pertama adalah tentang Shigaraki, Secret Origins, di mana kita mempelajari tentang asal-usul Shigaraki dengan lebih lanjut ya. Kalau last week was all about versi kecil dia, sekarang kita nampak evolusi dia daripada kecil kepada the current natural born killer. So kita ada satu quote daripada All for One yang mengatakan, "Now, let me witness your new form, Tomura Shigaraki." Tomura means to mourn for the dead and bid them farewell. Tenko Shimura has been reborn into an existence that invites mourning. Shigaraki is my surname. So soalan aku kepada para panelis, adakah anda terkejut bahawa tangan yang dipakai oleh Shigaraki bukan sahaja tangan daripada ahli keluarganya, tetapi juga daripada dua mangsa terawalnya, those two thugs dalam overlay ni. Serta apakah pendapat anda tentang All for One menjadi sumber identiti terbaru Tenko Shimura bertukar menjadi Tomura Shigaraki? Ni macam bila you name him as your heir, it's like literally kau bagi nama kau dekat dia kot. So apakah pendapat para panelis? Kita mulakan daripada Anri. Silakan Anri.
Okay. The renaming of Tenko is actually part of his transition from being a victim to a hunter, which is what All for One wanted. He wanted an heir, so he had to shape Tenko into his protege. He doesn't want the weak boy. He wants someone who can actually execute dia punya dreams tau. And Tenko is in need of purpose. So this is like those Sith situation where they need purpose for their powers tau. They're not going to hinder themselves, hold back dia punya power just because of the sake of society and punya expectations. They wanted a reason. Tenko needs a reason to live, move on, because he had killed his family. So right now he's confused. And the only person who actually came to him, he knows he's not dumb. He knows All for One is using him, but he doesn't care because he gave him something that society tak kasih dia. When he was walking down the street, everyone treat him like he doesn't exist. So
Ya,
it's
semua orang takut.
Semua takut. It's actually a very powerful moment that they put on screen tau. It shows how society is not only in Japanese culture but in our culture juga. I mean, people walk around, going about their lives, but who pays attention to the beggar or the street cleaner? We just focus forward. Benda yang kita emphasize on importance tau. Is my boss depan aku? Is there a handsome person or orang cantik tepi aku, maybe they notice me, but we don't notice the small people in the picture. And for Tenko, All for One was the only person yang nampak dia, only person to reach out, only person to understand. So him having a new name was not only something he welcomed. Shigaraki, he basically indirectly kata, welcome to my family. You're my son now. I'm going to give you the family, the purpose, the respect, love that you have never get from your original family. So this was actually very well done. I give it an A lah in execution in the anime. Manga wise,
Does it compare much from the manga?
I have to admit the manga was better here because we can actually read the situation, the purpose. But in the anime, we actually have to process all the small things, so it gets in the way and gets lost in the translation.
Macam tak ada inner monologue, is it? So that's we kind of lost in translation. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nazir, apa pendapat kau yang dia punya gatal tu is because dia tak dapat membunuh. Lepas tu dia tanya, apa yang kau nak buat? Aku nak bunuh 2 pekimak tu. Dia macam, pergilah. So apa pendapat kau tentang this whole scene?
First of all, aku nak highlight scene masa all for one dengan Profesor tengok daripada bumbung. Dia emphasize kau boku. Bukan ore, bukan watashi. Boku. It's a very intimate macam aku akan ajar anak aku macam ni. That's how all for one nak gunakan Shigaraki. And lagi satu, and bagi aku the scene dekat bandar tu it's very minimal tapi it's very strong and emphasize metaphorically and also on hyperbole how society glaring eye macam mereka kenapa ni bila nampak mata macam tu tak apa nanti kan hero akan datang. And also that moment Shigaraki voiceless, Shigaraki tak boleh cakap apa-apa.
Yeah.
Basically it's a cry for help. So what what if someone come and help Shigaraki? The thing will turn into other way around. But no one ever come help him. Yeah,
so kalau ada watu kat situ tinggal tengok.
And bagi aku this is the most iconic moment how the most deepest darkest villain are born actually. Sebab masa tu Shigaraki void dalam hati dia, void tau, dia kosong. Sebab kalau kena previous episode dah lah kakak macam Pukima salahkan adik dia. Lepas tu dengan family yang bencikan hero, maybe aku rasa dengan Nana tu ada something happen. Dan dalam keluarga tu maybe Nana mati dalam fight. That's why macam hero is a taboo word in the Shigaraki family. So bila dia seorang tu dia perlukan pertolongan, dia perlukan a symbol of hope. But there is no symbol. What if there is no symbol of hope? Ni jadinya. This is a very strong moment and aku suka macam mana all for one gaya dia pujuk tu dia tak paksa tau. Dia kata kau buatlah apa kau nak buat pun. Kalau kau gagal kau bangun lagi, kau cuba lagi. Basically all for one become the backbone for him to do whatever that can fill his void. Bagi aku this is very strong. Aku suka gila sini.
Nice. Shaz, were you surprised when there were extra hands from 2 thugs that he wears as well? Silakan.
Actually, I nak kata surprise tak juga, but it's something I wasn't expecting lah. I thought all the hands is strictly from the family. They would have had a greater significance. But after sehari dua fikir benda tu kan, it makes a lot of sense because dia punya first kills lah. Okay, first the family was because of the familial weight.
Macam accident.
Yes.
This one was with intent.
It's with intent. So he is officially reborn at this point of time. And then it's important influence by all for one is that he found Shigaraki ni a place tau, a home, a new place to be accepted despite of how devastating his power is. He was welcomed from you imagine from a family that sayang kau tapi ultimately was complicit in all the killings and everything. And then to the society yang honestly like a lot of society sekarang lah, it's a very simple mindset. It's always saya dulu tau. we are always pushing our own agenda. We are always looking at our own things. Kalau tak percaya, tengoklah. I mean, kalau kita dekat mamak pun, when the orang buta datang bagi nak jual tisu and everything kan, how often do we give out money? Aku pun tak bagi every single time. I'm not, I might even once in a while to say no. So you bayangkan, when someone is really in need, tambah dengan berdarah lagi kan, tangan dia, dengan muka pula macam, tolong aku. First thing kau ingat mesti like, ni orang gila mana ni kan. Kita orang tak mandi pun kita duduk ke tepi. Like,
Yeah.
so when someone who is this lost, it takes a special someone to become the savior. So Shigaraki was exposed to the harsh realities of the real world at a young age. Tiba-tiba this pakcik dari entah mana datang, do you need help? So what are you going to, as a kid, what will you do? Kalau kita sesat as a budak pun, kita mesti akan minta tolong adults.
Betul.
And one of the things that we always masa aku kecil lah, kalau you sesat you cari ni, akak ni dekat tempat ada besar ni. We like, benda tu kan, we got older, we know there was information counter lah.
Information counter, yeah, man.
Serious. Because it's like, if you sesat, because kita as budak, kita akan minta tolong from adults. Sebab kita dah blur, kita dah tahu. So, you kalau hilang, you cari this big word, at that point of time mana kita ingat. Sebab kita belum belajar membaca everything, but we roughly remember the shape lah.
Yeah.
So, in this case, he was picked up by someone who cared, as far as he was concerned.
Yeah.
So, dia macam like, okay lah, I think this guy is somebody who can help me. And then, he was accepted tau, despite his decay punya power tu. That was a big moment. So, macam Anri mention tadi lah, the moment dia dia tukar nama tu, it was a way for him to lock the past in the, his memories and everything. Because of that, dia banyak tak ingat lah. As he grew up, and he started doing more and more, practicing of his power and everything. What is the point of remembering a painful past?
And that locking was done by him, surprisingly, not by the doctor or by All for One. They were just talking in the rain macam budak tu lockkan semua benda into the past or something like that, right?
Yang tu I tak sure. Kalau we have to watch back the episode lah, but it feels like a natural repression of his memory.
Yeah.
Dia macam like, aku dah tak nak ingat benda tu, aku tak nak ingat benda tu. So your mindset keep thinking long and hard enough, last you akan lupa.
Makes sense.
Something, I'm pretty sure I forgot something is already in my past. Kita dah umur 40 lah.
Betul.
But itulah, I think ultimately kan, his first active kills when dia letak tangan tu, that was his moment of stepping forward. That was his new identity. The hands of the family is just to add a certain weight to him, indirectly allowing All for One to control dia lah. Kau jangan lupa, person kau, there's a burden for you to carry.
Is the hands, yeah.
Kan? And then as we later in the episode kan, when everything else was there's no more hands left, dia macam like, whatever lah. Because
itu kita akan bincangkan dalam segmen seterusnya.
Yeah.
So kita ada satu komen daripada Iqbali yang mengatakan pasal tangan tu dah sah lah kan, Professor and All for One buat tangan tu just for symbolic je, bukannya tangan betul kan? Like he did not pick the hand of the victims, he just made hands, right? Ke macam mana?
Nak kata macam mana because we did not see the scene where they pick up all the hands, and from what we recall, especially yang paling obvious lah, when the mom
disintegrated,
bukan Shigaraki, the hands were breaking apart. So kita tak nampak tangan yang ada rekah tau. Kalau let's say there's like tangan yang ada rekah, ni tangan mak kau, they will be like, so maybe it is possible that it's symbolic je lah.
Yeah, because when he gave the hands of the two thugs, there was extra hands. Yang tu aku terkejut macam two thugs and then you had extra hands. And then he said something, but I can't remember that.
I said that was the final evidence that pushed to the fact that sebenarnya ni tipu saja.
Simbolik.
And that's why Shigaraki remember memang ada 2 je, bukan ada 3.
Betul. Alright, so komen seterusnya untuk Anri ya. Iqbali bertanya, baru perasan Anri berjambang. Jarang tengok Chinese berjambang. Apa pendapat Anri pasal jambang? Stereotip aku Chinese suka muka licin. Pertama, Anri, kau ada Chinese blood ke Anri?
Yeah, I'm half Chinese actually.
Aku pun.
Okay. That's unique lah. Dua-dua pun half Chinese tapi ada jambang. So yeah. That's
Yeah.
So
Tapi dia
pendapat
tak
kau
macam
tentang
kau
jambang? Aku bukan
I grow my jambang when I malas nak cukur lah actually.
Okay. Well, semoga soalan Iqbal terjawab. Aku ada tie sikit. So sebab tu aku banyak jambang sebelah Kelantan. So okay, seterusnya Ammar MD bertanya, BuzzPOP dah tengok belum teaser Peacemaker? Ada teaser baru keluar ke? Ke teaser HBO Max yang ada banyak show at the same time tu? So basically satu scene je lah. Basically BuzzPOP dah share daripada James Gunn semalam. It was a very short scene, macam 3 saat, 5 saat. So nampak kelakar Peacemaker tembak melalui buntut dia. So dia macam tonggang terbalik, tembak pistol tu like backwards. Lepas tu peluru dia tu buat lambang peace. Aku macam cool lah. But if there's a new teaser lepas ni, maybe we might check it out lah. Lepas tu Ana Zainal mengatakan, bang, saya rasa gatal lah kat leher ni. Aduh, mak. Jangan. Alright guys, so dengan itu berakhirlah segmen ini dan kita bakal membincangkan babak menarik kita yang kedua. Babak menarik kita yang kedua adalah tentang Shigaraki Meta Awakening, di mana Shigaraki mencapai tahap baru dalam kodenya, unlocking past powers. Dan favourite aku adalah bila RE-DESTRO tinggal sehelai sepinggang sahaja. Dengan armor lah apa lah. Kau tengok dia macam setengah bogel lah. Dia macam lari. So kita ada satu quote daripada Shigaraki yang mengatakan, I remember everything now. Back then, I killed my father because I wanted to. I felt a burden lifted from my chest when I saw Mom and the others disintegrate. That was no tragedy. All I want is to destroy. I don't need a future. I don't care what the League of Villains will do from now on. I don't need these things, tangan-tangan victim dia, anymore either. So soalan aku kepada para panelis, apakah pendapat anda tentang Shigaraki mendapat Meta Awakening? Kembali mengawal kuasa decay-nya in wave form tanpa 5-figure contact seperti kali pertama dia membunuh ibunya. So kita mulakan dengan Anri. Silakan Anri.
Okay. This is where Shigaraki let himself go. This is where dia tak lagi hold himself back. When we first see Shigaraki kan, he can only disintegrate through apa yang 5-finger touch. He wanted some sort of control about that. That wasn't how he killed dia punya family. He killed his family by that rot wave, whatever you can call it lah. That decomposing wave. What you call it? I don't know what you call it. You call it disruptor wave lah, because it disrupts your cells.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ada nama ke move tu?
Dia tak namakan lagi.
Dia tak namakan.
Dia
Dia tak
bukan
namakan.
macam Doktor Shuriken lagi kan?
Dia tak kata Big Bang Attack or something like that lah. It's just
Stress punch.
Itu RE-DESTRO tu yang banyak menamakan benda lepas tu tak ada makna pun.
Yeah, that part when he did it actually was a powerful scene. Not sure if it's powerful in story wise, but powerful as in character growth lah. This is the part where he realised kind of his past. He doesn't care anymore about dia punya consequences. This is the part where he truly feels free now. He, at this point, he remembered everything. He may not care about All for One punya mission, but he actually wanted to do it anyway because All for One punya mission is basically aligned dengan Destro punya mission, which is basically destroy everything, replace the system. Everything is in line, so that's why when this thing happened, it was some sort of Shigaraki went into the next level of his character growth. Basically, right now, before he was actually like, I'm the heir of All for One. I'm doing this because of the mission. Now, I see my purpose. I'm going to do All for One punya mission, but it's going to be on my terms. Not because I want to fulfill apa All for One punya dreams of grandeur. And I think All for One wanted this anyway at the end. He wanted an heir, not a replacement.
Yeah, definitely somebody capable themselves.
Yeah, if he wanted a replacement, he could have just gone put a brain into Gigantomachia. But when you see the powers, it is basically nak kata in line with the development of story. As he grows older, he gets stronger, but he just repress it. It's like a balloon. Letak air banyak, it's gonna pop. And this is what happens when it pops. I cannot say the same about RE-DESTRO's punya power. It's like the power. This is the one problem I had with this episode. RE-DESTRO punya power, I cannot get a grasp on his power. Even in the comics kan, aku tak faham tau. The power is based on stress. But tiba-tiba he becomes like macam Tony Stark. Things come out from the ground, and then he's like that.
Dia macam dia perlukan Hulkbuster tiba-tiba. Like, kimak ni lagi kuat. I need to go to 150%.
It reminds me of that Dragon Ball Z apa movie yang dia Goku lawan dengan that cyborg yang serap apa, the other cyborg bila mereka mati, yang dia tendang kangkang Vegeta, you know, yang jadi Dragon Ball Bridge punya famous episode. It reminds me of that character. Android what 15 something. No, this is a movie.
The movie.
The one yang pakai 13 yang pakai trucker hat tu.
Oh, sorry. Trucker hat tu Super 70. Itu dalam GT tadi aku.
Not GT. This is Dragon Ball Z movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a Super 70 yang dah buff up gila-gila. Tadi aku.
So, the progression of Shigaraki power makes sense. It's in line with dia punya character growth. RE-DESTRO on the other hand is like they purposely make it him overpowered at last moment tapi overwhelmed by Shigaraki just for the sake of the the plot armor.
And I like how this like, what is this feeling? Is it fear? Macam kibat dia macam.
Yeah.
Is it fear?
And another weak point kan, RE-DESTRO lost his legs when he touches the ground. Okay, I don't get that part because the wave kan, if he got caught in the wave kan, maybe the legs got caught in the wave, can accept lah kaki dia kena reput, he has to cut it off before the rest of the
envelopes.
Day. Yeah, but he actually jatuh, touch the ground yang the wave sentuh moment ago. So what? Shigaraki punya power is not actually just a wave, it's like a radiation damage yang linger on.
Aku rasa dia macam nak cakap yang apa, bila Shigaraki unlock next level, the floor is lava lah basically. So macam basically kau sentuh pun zoom, you can affect your whole body. That's why dia potong kaki tu cepat sebab maybe dia takut the whole body disintegrate. Sebab kan masa previous episode masa lawan kan, even though disentuh sikit
everybody died.
Everybody died.
Yeah, but if that's the case right, kalau dia potong sebab takut kan, the leg should be nearby. But the thing is kan, the leg memang dah reput bila dia sentuh tanah tu. So you don't see the remains of the leg.
Yeah, dah hancur.
So this is actually I'm not certain if it's something they left out in detail. But it's like a flawed scene if you ask me lah.
Dia macam OP sangat. Lepas tu it's undefined.
Yeah.
Yes. This is a Mary Sue moment for Shigaraki lah senang cerita. A Mary Sue moment lah.
Because you would think that it's like floor is lava, but then dia dah terbang, he flew away. Tapi sekarang macam just because his floor hit the lava, now the lava is going into his skin, so dia jadi undefined lah. Dia jadi macam wow, kau dah terbang pun kau kena potong kaki lagi.
This is like a Luke Skywalker versus Kylo Ren moment lah, yang
Kinda.
part ending part lah.
Yang dia buat macam ni je. Okay, so seterusnya untuk Nazher, Munif bertanya ataupun mengatakan RE-DESTRO is essentially Sebastian Shaw of the X-Men ability wise lah. Dia macam bila dia kena dia boleh pantul balik. Yang tu lain, yang ni dia stress dia tukar jadi strength. So dia macam reverse Hulk lah in a sense. Don't make me angry, tapi don't make me stress. Don't make me stress, okay?
You don't want me to be stressed.
Fail.
Okay, but macam bagi aku macam untuk part ni, actually the anticipation of RE-DESTRO kelakar lah. Entah kenapa dia macam okay, lagi stress, aku kena tambah apa Hulkbuster apa segala macam kan. Mana dia macam nak macam apa, macam high anticipate macam okay, aku nak buat the most his asuh aku paling power lah, my opening move yang my finishing paling power
150%.
Lalu Shigaraki macam tu je kot, aku macam alahai macam tu je. Macam
yes, kan Shigaraki cakap whatever cannot get to me won't hurt me. Pasal tak sampai lagi dia dah destroy, dia dah decay dah.
Macam dia, sebab aku tengok ni macam dia umpama macam Goku baru dapat Ultra Instinct tau masa dekat lawan Jiren. Tetapi yang ni Jiren become nerf as SF, dia punya level rendah gila. And Shigaraki punya level naik tinggi-tinggi tau. At least kau dah Dragon Ball Super, kalau kau tengok senior lawan tu, kau tahu Jiren dengan Goku is the same level. Walaupun Jiren struggle nak hit Goku boleh elak sebab Ultra Instinct, but the intensity was there. Maknanya walaupun the hero was next level, tapi Jiren punya level pun akan still naik juga. Tapi yang ni lepas dah the wave apa semua lembik balik dia distro. Aku macam
dia jadi one-sided battle.
Yes, sangat one-sided. Aku macam this scene can be made better kalau the fight being prolonged actually. Honestly, kalau this fight being prolonged, I want to see
boleh
more.
Kau buang lah yang beach waifu party tu, kau buang lah Endeavor up. Dan kita ada lah like 2 episode back to back lawan.
Bring back the classic Dragon Ball punya fight yang dia 5 episode Goku versus Frieza. Kita apa nak?
Betul klasik.
But honestly macam bagi aku this scene macam tunjuk macam Shigaraki macam aku dah tak ada apa-apa dah, aku nak yang hold me back. So aku tak perlu kata-kata lagi dah. Aku boleh buat apa yang aku nak. Aku dah find my purpose. And my code been leveled up by force, but also when the trigger being hit, memang payah korang semua. Seriously, that's how powerful it is. So aku harap next season aku nak dia memang goes all the way lah.
Nice. Sampai dia cakap I don't care about the League of Villains. Gila babi tu.
Exactly.
Shaz, apa pendapat kau bila RE-DESTRO tunjuk white flag dengan logo macam ni, macam it's okay bro, it's okay guys.
Aku loser.
Dia buat macam ni dulu tau. So silakan.
Kita kalah. Okay, before I answer that, aku just nak baca something. Aku dah lama fikir macam mana this stress affected RE-DESTRO-nya power tau. Then entah macam mana aku teringat balik something yang aku tahu tapi last week tak ingat. So aku nak bacakan just some excerpt ni. Okay. Cortisol is your body punya main stress hormone. It works with certain parts of your brain to control your mood, motivation and fear. And one of the roles that it plays is that it boosts energy so you can handle stress and restores balance afterward. So, barulah ada some sense of logic macam mana he can go beyond 100%. Dia punya tube-tube yang kuning tu is additional cortisol that is shot into him. So since it's a make-believe punya world, aku rasa dia dah store ahead all this stress hormone lebih ni. When the time is needed, it pushes it into him lah. So his body punya quirk, it reacts to the cortisol, which is the stress hormone, by making him bigger and stronger. But I guess over time, it made him, he can control it. And for some reason boleh keluar, energy ball itu okay. Aku terima je lah. So, dia punya apa ni? The part when he lost dia punya kaki tu by choice, I agree with everybody punya ni lah assessment. At one point dia terkena tu dah. Aku tengok 2 kali tau the episode macam like I don't see a connecting punch to the suit.
No, it was armor dia meretak. If you saw the feet was meretak that led him to jump up.
Oh, kalau macam tu probably a part of the armor that he was on also was starting to decay, and maybe lah the closer you are to Shigaraki, the stronger the wave is.
That's how crazy.
Kalau tidak you bayangkan
the leg was armored. The leg was armored, but he had to cut his leg in the end. Macam fuck.
No, because kau tengok even the gambar aku tunjuk ni kan. Dia tengah duk terbang atas metal plate lah tu.
Yeah.
At that point of time, he saw the thing was already cracking. So maybe the armor plating that he was on was also beginning to decay. And then at the last minute, dia nampak. So he cut everything off at the same time.
Yeah.
Dia punya Shigaraki punya power is a bit undefined lah, as you guys say lah. Apa soalan asal kau aku dah lupa. Aku baca artikel tu.
Apa pendapat kau bila dia give up dengan dia macam okay guys. Alright. So dalam anime, dalam manga, dalam wrestling, even western comics pun kan, they have this reoccurring trope tau. Dia akan letak super character yang kuat gila kau. Wow, lepas tu new villain datang. Hey guys, Wolverine dah nak mampus lah. Iron Man dengan Infinity Gauntlet, lepas tu aku dia tak ada power. Lepas tu macam Thanos kan, so strong and everything, tiba-tiba nak tunjuk a new character. Ingat tak cerita What If tu, Mamat tu just kena lempang macam tu je. Oh yeah.
So it's a common trope where they show a character who is strong, dia lempang macam tu je to further boost the character yang kita nak boost ni lah. So cuma aku tak setuju sangat dia punya the way he got pumped up, because relying on an external armor tu macam like, alah, aku ingatkan kau hebat sangat kan, this is the peak of my power, daripada stress kat tangan boleh keluar Dragon Ball punya energy ball, macam like ni dah tak masuk akal, tapi like armor keluar. What is this rati?
Tiba-tiba kan aku macam aku tengah tengok Rhino daripada Amazing Spider-Man 2 ke ni?
Itulah. I think kalau it's just some energy pack cucuk belakang dia, increase dia punya stress level, aku boleh terima lagi. Full armor tu like. So when he put the loser punya ni kan, it's not just the fact that he is dia surrender, but it's also because like it or not lah, he actually he carries a weight of responsibility on him, although he's slightly colorless.
He was saying that the other followers are willing to become martyrs for Destro's ideas, not his ideas. So that's why they macam responsible for them all. Sebab tu dia macam
so dia terus macam like, stop. This was the sign. When he does that symbol, it is probably a sign to all his followers that aku ni masih waras. Okay, I'm not being mind controlled or anything. I'm still doing our army punya logo. So I am telling you this as the leader.
Yeah.
I'm saying we should bow to this guy. So that was ultimately when we discovered more of who he is kan. Aku macam like, alamak, Mamat ni kan. Because honestly dia punya karakter ni rupa-rupanya his true self came out after they meet Shigaraki tau. Remember this scene?
Masuk kau?
Dia ni pengampu. He is somebody who climb out the corporate ladder, you know, like, cik, nak makan apa, cik? Lalu dia suruh berambus. Oh, bye-bye. So, secara tak langsung, right, he himself was liberated. Because he now does not carry the burden of leadership.
Yeah.
Which was something that he himself realised that, oh, sebenarnya aku tak suka benda ni. And then ada komentar siapa tadi cakap, RE-DESTRO jumpa je Shigaraki, terus hilang stres. Which is true. Because the mental of leadership has been lifted off him. So it's like, aku dah jadi lieutenant je sekarang guys. Aku dah bukan number one dah. Aku dah relax. I'll just do what I need to do. So yeah, I think at that moment in time, he saved a lot of people from dying. As kita pun tahu, si Mamat terampet tu pun like, kita boleh selamatkan dia tu. Wuh, semua macam dia sekali pandang je like,
Yeah. So his inside power pun was negated by the wave. Aku macam papi Shigaraki ni berapa banyak kuasa kau ada sial.
That one was not his kuasa. That one is literally just charisma. Setengah orang dia jenis yang kau tengok ni kan. Macam even among us in our group of circle of friends kan.
Yeah.
There'll be one or two guys yang selalu macam like the background sikit. And there'll be some guys macam like, and we're like, okay, aku buat, you know. There are some people who are born with this. They just have the look that can get people to do things. So Shigaraki is one of those people yang has that in abundance lah. It's a natural charisma.
The awakened Shigaraki, yeah.
Yep.
Alright, so aku Iqbali mengatakan Shigaraki killer intent. Haki. Okay, silakan.
One Piece tu.
I just wanted to comment something on Shazli. I don't think Kaki Pengampu was RE-DESTRO's nature. I think it's because of the Messiah complex that he has on Shigaraki. You have to understand, at first he has this Messiah complex on Destro. He believed in Destro's teaching, he put it on the pedestal. Now he sees Shigaraki, right, as the embodiment of Destro's punya philosophy tau. He is doing total freedom without no care, no he doesn't
discuss this later in the latest segment, the last segment, yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So kita ada 2-3 komen yang menarik. Pertama, Kudo mengatakan it does make RE-DESTRO look weak. I wonder what his top lieutenants think of this. Yes, kita akan cover in the last segment nanti. Kemudian Iqbali mengatakan you don't want to mess with awakened Shigaraki, man. Tengok Giganto bertegap. Yes. Yang tu pun next segment. Kita Giganto bertegap. Betul. Kemudian yes, yang ni teori daripada Iqbali ya. Kan waktu dia tengah glide macam overlay, the last overlay ni, he was just half naked, right? And then Shigaraki released another wave that made it unstable and he fell due to the shock wave. So maybe masa tu kaki dia tersentuh tanah yang ada effect decay.
Logical lah.
Yeah, it wasn't while he was armored up like I initially thought. Yeah, maybe it's while he was drifting. There was a wave. Dia melayang, he fell down. And then the dust gave way. And then the next thing you know, dia dah pegang a piece of besi like that. Like cutting his leg away. So
maybe certain material Shigaraki tak boleh pecah.
Betul. Kemudian Iqbali ada buat satu observation. Korang perasan tak rambut Shigaraki bertukar dari biru ke putih? Style gila rambut putih. Patut dalam manga rambut Shigaraki lepas arc ni macam bersinar sangat. Jadi putih rupanya. Oh, was it not white in the manga?
Kelabu. Wait, manga tak sure. But previously
when he awakened, the moment he awakened, did he not change to white? Because in the anime, he went full white, man. The awakened version is like dia macam Goku rambut tukar jadi rambut kuning. Jadi tukar jadi rambut putih.
I can't recall. Most of the manga is black and white as usual.
So did not make his hair white?
They made it white, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
memang change lah. But
Alright.
before that it was like greyish something lah.
Yeah,
wasn't
but
total
now
white.
post awakening, I guess it'd be fully white. Kemudian Ian Wayan menambah ya. Tomura Shigaraki revels in destruction, laughs in the face of death, charges into danger. Koki Uchiyama, Shigaraki's VA, afraid of needles, hates the sight of blood, avoids scary movies.
It's avoid memang opposite gila kot.
Betul,
Opposite
betul.
gila dekat voice actor tu.
Kelakar gila. So yeah, it's pretty cool lah. Voice actor dia lain daripada karakter that he plays. Seterusnya, abang ni, Goku dah ada form putih lah. Nama dia Ultra Instinct. Oh, aku dah tak tengok selama 20 tahun. So,
Dia bukan full white tau, dia macam silverish grey.
Dia macam dia rambut still hitam, mata dia greyish, right? Mata dia macam black greyish and ada aura greyish white on his body actually. So it's kind of like a new form yang accidentally dapat secara tak sengaja actually dalam satu scene tu.
I look forward to tengok balik the next movie. I hear they're making another one after Broly. So I don't know, it's been 21 years that aku tak tengok Dragon Ball. So it should be fun to tengok balik.
Well, on Ichi Dragon Ball Super dah ada semua 122 episod. So just enjoy lah kalau kau nak.
It's good, Nick. It's good.
Yeah,
Tapi
it's good.
kau banyak kerja kan. So
Yeah, I got too many things to watch, man. I got too many things to watch.
dalam seminggu masa Disember tu kau tengok.
Oh yes.
Kau tahu lah Disember kita nak pergi mana kan. Dah hari-hari nak gaming. Lepas tu still nak ada masa dah tengok benda. Kita tengok macam mana.
Jojo.
Itu lah.
Yeah, man. Okay. Yeah. So dengan itu berakhirlah segmen ini dan kita akan ke babak menarik kita yang ketiga. Babak menarik kita yang ketiga adalah tentang Gigantomachia, not the savior. Di mana kehadiran Gigantomachia meleraikan perlawanan Geten versus Dabi yang telah di-hyped up for 3 fucking weeks and dia tak ada payoff. It's quote favorite aku ialah Dabi cakap, "Damn that ice guy. I was so close to burning him to a crisp." After 3 weeks of like, jeng, it's gonna happen. By the way, kau tahu aku boleh guna ice tau. By the way, kau tahu aku boleh
Boleh kau
talking so much bullshit. And then kita sempat tengok Dabi macam shut the fuck up. Kita tak sempat tengok. So soalan aku kepada para panelis, adakah anda rasa disappointed yang perlawanan di antara Geten versus Dabi yang dijanji-janjikan selama 3 minggu ended macam tu saja? Dan apakah pendapat anda apabila Gigantomachia menerima Shigaraki sebagai the true heir of All for One sejurus selepas melihat Awakening Shigaraki yang epic AF? So silakan Anri. First Geten versus Dabi, second Gigantomachia.
I think it's safe to say that we all were rooting for Dabi bunuh Geten.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. No one supports Geten. He will never get voted as most popular villain in the series. So him not getting killed kind of makes us hate him even more.
Definitely.
So yeah, but what to do? This is what they choose to do. I will disappointed tak tengok Dabi bakar Geten. Something to look forward in the future.
Yes.
But as far as Gigantomachia is concerned, the moment dia tengok Shigaraki kan, Shigaraki when he was awakened in this scene, he was a different Shigaraki. He was not the weak, cowering Shigaraki that needs to fight and hide. This is the Shigaraki yang exposed himself in the open with new powers, destroying everything inside. He displayed his power. And Gigantomachia being a strength character who respects power, who serves All for One, who is actually the embodiment of power, seeing Shigaraki like this, dengar apa dia cakap, he said, "Oh, the heir, he's here, you are the heir." Dia nangis.
Yeah. He literally acknowledge.
He sees All for One through Shigaraki punya actions. So it's a well-made scene. I liked it a lot. It gives a lot of closure to the role of Gigantomachia. We expect him to come there and blast out everything and help Shigaraki, but the opposite happened. He came there, he just bear witness to Shigaraki's ascension, and then he stopped. Yeah,
Definitely.
perfect for me.
Was it any different from the manga? Was it animated better, or is just like panel by panel?
At this point, everything that we see is accurate according to the manga. We don't have to second guess. This is not like Why the Last Man, where they change everything half-ass and make it
Don't talk about
glorious.
that shit, man. I'm supposed to watch it after this. After this live stream, I will be writing the script for tomorrow.
I just download episode 4. Saya
Oh
takut nak
my.
tengok dah.
Hopefully it'll be
But
better lah.
hopefully it'll be better. We thought we were getting episode 4 and 5, but we're just getting episode 4 this week.
Yeah,
First three
Yeah.
episode teruk
teruk gila. Tak sama macam komik, bro. Teruk gila.
Is the
First time aku tengok Anri punya mengeluh sampai aku ramai komen tu. Wih, Anri mengeluh teruk betul.
Yes,
Why the
even
Last
the,
Man had even the beginning scene kan, dia tukar terus. Yang
the first 2 pages of the comic book is not even in the series.
and
In
it
the
is
first 3 episodes.
and it opens the whole story from 0 to 100. So
Yes.
they choose to throw that way, so you can imagine my disappointment on that. But coming back to the story, at this point, we can all safely assume My Hero Academia, the creators of the anime, respects the source material so much they don't make dumb changes for no reason. Matter of fact, they don't make any changes at all. Cuma kadang-kadang they may cut off something, they may add something macam those filler episodes, but in terms of context and story wise, they don't fuck things up too much.
That's cool.
They just fuck us up when they want to make a movie. So at least we can expect that lah in the future.
Biasalah. So Nazir, pendapat kau tentang Gigantomachia yang initially plan diorang is like, tak apa, kita nak lawan apa-apa 11,000 orang, nanti Gigantomachia datang lempang semua orang. Tengok.
Tak payah.
Tengok. Okay, silakan.
Macam bagi aku, this one is a very good turnover scene tau. And Gentle pun macam kena macam bodoh kat lah. Sembang-sembang, oh aku dah guys, kau apa ada. Macam tu je, aku macam alahai bodoh je lah. And bagi aku teringin nak tengok Dabi lempang si Gentle tu sebenarnya, ataupun Dabi perentung dia. Tapi you know, how they turn over the scene, how Gigantomachia nampak the true power of Shigaraki kan dia kan daripada dia gerak, dia kata master ayam pewaris tuan guru bila dia nampak, dia see macam dia kata dia see one for all inside the Shigaraki. So macam basically it's not about kau nak tame the guy, but it's all about the acknowledgement itself actually.
The
Macam
respect.
show, macam respect who is the king of the jungle.
Yeah.
So macam Shigaraki show I the king of the jungle, bow to me right now. And also macam aku suka like how Giganto ni dia bukanlah macam a dumb villain yang serang suka. Dia nampak benda tu, dia respect. Dia instinct tu macam dia kata, oh, this guy is the right guy yang can guide me to do something macam mana one for all buat macam aku dulu. That kind of instinct yang sama. Benda tu is hard to get among villain, tapi Shigaraki prove himself actually by all the emotional distress, psychological distress, sampai that kind of level he's free and everything around him become better for him. And also it's kind of funny lah tengok macam mana turnover RE-DESTRO daripada yang gagah jadi macam okey sama sial degatlah perangai dia kan.
Betul. Kita akan bincangkan tu lagi dalam segmen seterusnya.
Yeah.
Shaz, your thoughts about Getan versus Dabi, which did not happen, and then Gigantomachia's reaction.
Okay, we talk about the simple one first. Gigantomachia ni, aku rasa it's not just the display of power, it's the fact that this is somebody he can follow. Because he saw how he was standing there alone, everybody was waiting for him to move tau. So the display of raw power tu satu lah, but also raw charisma and the fact that he was fearless, that was the thing that caught his eye. It's like, oh, this is somebody I can follow. This is someone who can lead. So he respects power, yes, but ultimately dia nak somebody yang that can lead lah in that sense. Okay, yang Getan dengan Dabi, there was three outcomes I was waiting for. One of these pun cukup lah. Satu, Dabi burns Getan to death. Sebab aku tak ingat dalam meeting in the one of the earlier episodes where all the League of Villains, masa tu kita tak tahu dia orang combine kan. I don't recall seeing Getan kat situ. So Getan was first introduced in the episode yang dalam
Deca City
ni kan.
Deca City.
So either he gets burns to crisp or it comes to the point where dia satu bakar rentung mati terus lah. Kedua, you burn sampai ice tu dah nak habis and then Getan macam like, oh aku surrender, aku give up. Or last kali kan, Getan will be like, oh shit, I cannot handle this fire, nak lari or something. Lepas tu macam like, ni siapa pula nak macam kita lepas nyamuk kan. Apa ni
yang sialnya, dia lari nak pergi lawan Gigantomachia. Lepas tu, oh I shouldn't do this, RE-DESTRO can fight his own battles. So macam dia bacol tu, he use it as an excuse to run away from the Dabi fight. Kan?
Tak juga. I mean, dia cakap macam mana ya? Actually, that can be true also lah. The fact that he used the excuse to run away to serious, maksudnya like, aku buat apa ni? So his moment of indecision tu, dia Gigantomachia hit the ground, something kena. Aku macam like, bagilah Gigantomachia sepak dia ke apa ke biar rasa sikit kan. I was hoping for this moment tau. Pop.
Pasal dah 3 episod tau, he's bitching like, I'm the best guys, I'm the best.
Itulah kan. Either Dabi will show his awakening or Getan will be slapped around like the nyamuk that he is. We're like, alah, dua-dua pun kau tak bagi lah. Alah, sedihnya. That was a bit disappointing lah. But as a whole, it didn't detract so much of the episode. It's just want to say like, bila mama ni nak kena ni? 3 episod dah ni. Like,
itulah.
Dia just kena debris je. Alah, sedihnya.
Lepas tu dapat promotion. Bengong betul lah.
He was actually promoted as a lieutenant. So macam like,
macam babi lah kau Getan. He's such a kiss ass man. Alright, ada apa-apa lagi komen sebelum aku pergi ke komen pembaca?
Tak ada.
Alright, cool. So mula-mula kita ada Shimir yang katakan macam manalah hero-hero nak lawan Shigaraki kalau tanpa AFO pun dia OPAF. Betul. Kemudian Nadzru menambah, rasanya Deku je yang layak lawan Shigaraki, tapi Deku kena unlock semua power all for one lah. Sorry, one for all. One for all. Ya.
Apa kita selalu confuse tu.
Macam mana abang yang dah baca manga? Does this happen 200 chapters from now? Kita dah cakap ni.
Saya cakap lah.
Aku dah kena spoil lah. 2 bulan lepas ada orang tunjuk frame yang Deku balik ke sekolah tu, ke babi betul lah.
So you know the answer lah if you saw.
Nama Facebook group ialah Kaki Film, bukan Kaki Manga atau anime, okay? Apa pasal kau nak kau nak dapat sangat viral, kau boleh post benda manga dalam Kaki Film. Fuck.
Tapi itulah, I mean, kalau you nak speculate, memang the best payoff is when the main hero fights against the main villain.
Yeah.
But will there be a plot twist kat hujung tu? Itu yang seronok tu. For all we know, nanti Shigaraki punya power lost control ke, or Deku punya power run rampant ke.
Yeah, I think it's more towards that one. It's like another black wheat moment. It's gonna be, teori aku is gonna be another black wheat moment. Dia macam dia unlock, macam Azrul cakap, unlock some new power. So macam itulah. Seterusnya komen terakhir untuk segmen ini, Shimir mengatakan bukan nak backup Getan, tapi Dabi like tak boleh guna full power dia, right? Sebab the fire burn his own skin. Apakah pendapat panelis? Shaz?
Yeah, he probably has a higher level of fire that caused him to have so much yang skin dia terbakar semua tu
He
because
was already,
because he pushed so much. So at that point of time, dia macam like, aku nak bakar mama ni kan, tapi aku ingat lagi sejarah lama aku ni, aku kena terbakar and that shit. So yeah, but I think Gaten was this close lah to Dabi. Actually aku dah tak peduli, aku dah bakar kau sekarang. Itu je.
itulah. We just didn't get to see the attack. I'm like, damn it. Alright guys, so dengan itu berakhirlah segmen ini dan kita akan ke babak menarik kita yang keempat. Oh, this is actually one of my favorite scenes. Di mana RE-DESTRO surrender, di mana kita nampak RE-DESTRO melutut depan Shigaraki untuk surrender. So ada dua quote menarik. Yang pertama, ni All for One mengatakan, think of it this way, a person's life, progress and endeavor are all within his grasp. You can decide whether you want to crush it or toy with it as you please. If your hatred aligns with your joy, then you are free. And then masa itulah kita nampak, Shigaraki ada awakening dia. Kemudian RE-DESTRO mengatakan, the freedom to use our abilities is liberation, not oppression. Great Destro, if the person who leads the charge of liberation is the reflection of freedom, it would be this young man who can laugh it off as he sees the weight of a history and bloodstained destiny as a liability. I see it now. I can see the brilliance of this young man. They all agree with me. No, they agree with Destro's legacy and have the resolve to become martyrs. You are right. I started it first and lost the fight. Do whatever you please with me, but I always have the resolve to give up my life for Destro's legacy. The Metal Liberation Army will follow your command. Lepas tu dia melutut dekat Shigaraki. So, soalan aku kepada para panelis, apakah pendapat anda apabila final form RE-DESTRO di tahap 150% pun gagal untuk menumpaskan Awaken Shigaraki? Serta apakah pendapat anda apabila RE-DESTRO yang mewakili Metal Liberation Army melutut depan Shigaraki, mengaku kalah sambil ditonton oleh ahli-ahli Metal Liberation Army yang lain? So, kita mulakan dengan Anri. Silakan Anri.
Okay. Like I said mentioned earlier about the Messiah complex, RE-DESTRO sees Shigaraki as the embodiment of all Destro's teaching, total freedom, using the power, no care, whatever it is. He surrendered to Shigaraki not because Shigaraki defeated him, but because of the way that Shigaraki defeated him. Because if he got defeated, for example, like Gigantomachia, he wouldn't surrender his forces to Gigantomachia. He was defeated by Shigaraki because Shigaraki displayed total freedom. He was the Destro philosophy embodiment in flesh. It's like the coming of Destro. So, memang the next thing, the easiest thing for him to do is actually surrender and put his trust into Shigaraki sampai dia offer dia punya life. He is not that's why I say I disagree with Shazli earlier. I don't think this is your typical kaki pengampu. Kaki pengampu usually, ngampu for self-promotion, self-preservation. RE-DESTRO is basically selfless in pursuit of Destro's mission. He sees everything as a means to an end, and at this point, Shigaraki is the end of his mission. So, for him to actually be able to join Shigaraki at the end of the episode, even as a mere lieutenant, it was like a dream come true. I am now for 100% certain that we are on the path of Destro. So that's my take on it lah.
Cool. So was this the same in the manga as well?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, nice.
That part yang Shigaraki said, wait, you're the CEO of this company, right? So you have money. Tu memang ada dalam manga.
By the way, is this the same company that was in the news that got a new tender to provide support hero shit? The Dex Snack or Dex Snack or something? Denerax.
So. Yeah. The company is involved with a lot of things. Equipment macam yang May selalu buat tu.
So it's the
Ah.
same company, yeah.
It's a conglomerate. It's a conglomerate. They're involved into everything, construction, medical, macam ni apa, even apa yang technology, all those drugs semua dia buat. It's a conglomerate. It's like what you call that? Samsung.
So it's like there's a word for it in Korean and there's a word for it in Japan. Zaibatsu. Yeah, Chaebol is in Korea and then Zaibatsu is in Japan.
Zaibatsu is Japan. And then remember I cakap the scene where they wanted to eat tapi tak dapat afford sushi.
Yeah, kelakar gila tu.
They actually brought it back for this. Akhirnya dapat makan sushi. Because in the first
kita patut join High Sekai, kita patut join gangster. Mesti kita dah makan sushi sekarang.
Yeah. So actually they brought
Nice
something
callback.
back. Nice callback.
Nice callback. Nazher, apa pendapat kau? Semata-mata nak makan sushi? You know, dia rela terima orang melutut depan dia ni. Macam aku nak makan sushi lah, babi.
Aduh.
Kau melutut, tak apalah. Kau boleh bagi aku makan sushi tak? Silakan.
Okay, aku suka the running joke dalam lift tau. Dah sushi pun tak habis. Tapi sushi tu kita orang yang bayar. Aku macam bodoh lah. Aku dengan tu aku tak boleh lah. Dengan tu aku tak boleh. Memang perangai dia bodoh lah. Tapi macam especially macam scene ni, aku suka dia macam my will is stronger than yours tau. So macam that kind of really macam emphasize Shigaraki punya dream much more bigger than this beta liberation army. So that's why akhirnya ini yang buat RE-DESTRO pun tunduk, sebab RE-DESTRO dia macam dia memang ada a good goal, tapi bak kata bak kata feel dalam Avengers, you lack of conviction. That's what makes your goal will be trample over the goal to something greater. So macam dalam ni macam Shigaraki tunjuk aku boleh, I can achieve much more higher than yours. So itu macam akhirnya yang buat dia goes down. And also yang ni juga macam aku suka bila mamak tu cuba nak macam bagi seorang bara. Shigaraki tendung je. Terus be cut off macam tu je. Dia punya kuasa tu macam karisma dia gila power lah.
Kan?
This one karisma dia ni buat aku teringat Zoro tau dalam One Piece. Zoro ni dia ada macam satu demonic punya intent tau, di mana bila dia tengok musuh akan takutkan dia, sebab dia ada macam satu riak muka yang memang kalau kau nampak kau mati sebenarnya, sebab Zoro punya style dia kalau bunuh terus. Tapi of course sebab Zoro is a right hand man of pirate, so paling kurang pun dia just wounded badly lah, bukan dia nak bunuh terus kan. But dalam animation One Piece memang intention nak macam to kill tu memang high gila-gila babi. So macam I can see macam the aura of Shigaraki memang very 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 strong actually. Very strong. So aku looking forward how this guy become the lapdog for the Shigaraki, walaupun dia literally bagi aku he's still a lapdog. So we see on the further season how it going serve. But I also part macam oi, kau duit banyak kan. Siap betul dapat. It's very funny actually, very funny.
Memang kelakar gila. Okay Shaz, your thoughts about the surrender. They start macam ni, lepas tu they end dengan melutut. Was it the acrobatics that was going in his brain, macam they all want to die for Destro, then maybe I am not the correct leader, then aku akan melutut. So was that the acrobatics, mental gymnastics okay with you?
The first of all, the melutut punya act is one of the biggest things in Japanese culture lah.
Definitely, yeah.
So tak silap aku, even in the tak ingat kalau royalty dia orang requires kneeling or not, but that is one of the highest forms of respect lah. One of the sebab kenapa RE-DESTRO ni he chose to surrender is not just for his pengikut tau. It's like macam Anri mentioned, that Shigaraki is already living the dream. This is what Destro long time ago was saying, you're free to do what you want. The only person responsible is you. And that is what Shigaraki has done. Aku tak kisah dah kau siapa, aku tak kisah pas aku apa, because tak silap aku, they did research on all of the villains punya past. So that's why dia ada mention, I thought Mamat ni dia kena pegang dengan tangan all the hands. So when he completely broke free of all his constraints, RE-DESTRO macam like, this is already our ultimate ideal. This is the epitome of what Destro wanted.
Yeah.
True freedom.
And it's not him. That realization.
Betul. And he realized that dia sebenarnya may have been doing all that, kita nak freedom, kita nak liberation and everything. It could have been something he adopted, which reminds me of Bane from Batman lah. You merely embrace the darkness while I was born in it daripada kecil. Kan? So when he realized that true freedom is now Shigaraki punya is belongs to Shigaraki, so he realized that why not follow somebody who is strong enough and charismatic enough to even silence the entire creator tu. Berapa banyak orang tu, beratus orang tu dengan looking on them kan. So that's why he surrendered lah. Not so much surrender, I think at that point of time macam Anri kata, the Messiah complex. So macam like, tak apalah, aku punya Messiah potong pala aku pun aku tak kisah doh, aku happy, aku gembira. Because macam kita lah kan, if someone were to save us and we will be forever indebted, dia suruh kita lompat masuk lumpur pun tak apa, jalan je. So setakat sushi tu kan, apalah sangat, it's just money. Also untuk makluman, dekat Jepun they have cheap sushi, tak silap aku, but there is also high-end sushi. So most likely that was the high-end sushi, which is why the previous lieutenant kata, celaka budak-budak ni, sepah pula sushi ni, dah lah kau tak bayar kan.
Betul.
I think that was a nice callback. Yang aku ingat lagi a few weeks yang Anri kata, diorang lawan lah, tak ada makan, baju koyak, sampai tak boleh nak ganti and everything. Why was the scene was not shoot? I think they summarized up to this one scene.
Yeah.
Where they were like talking, kalau kita join that group kan senang, kita boleh makan sushi sekarang. So I think to make space for the movie punya tie-in, but knowing that it was actually an important part of their past, they push all of it into that one small scene. So kalau you tak baca the manga like me, you be like, oh that's kind of cool, dulu diorang sedih. They had no money
They
kan,
were on
but
the run,
pada readers macam Anri be like, alah, they condense it to this one small scene je. Well, the movie came out kan. So.
Itulah. Nice. So ada apa-apa lagi komen before I read the... Okay. So seterusnya kita ada 4 komen menarik. Pertama, Nadzru mengatakan, pada pendapat panelis, adakah Dabi blood relation dengan Endeavour? Aku tak boleh jawab pasal aku dah tengok spoiler dekat Google.
Aku tak nak jawab, so aku dah tahu spoiler lah, so aku tak nak jawab.
So kita tanya, the only person yang hanya tengok anime dan tak kena spoil lagi, apakah teori Brazil anda?
Ramai orang kata ada kaitan. And yang I mean by ada kaitan tu sebab I follow the Facebook official fan club tu, selalu dia cakap, alah korang tunggulah nanti dia cakap lah Dabi dengan Never, Dabi dengan dia. Macam like, tapi kan there is no spoiler image tu. Aku macam like, selaka lah dia orang ni. Is it true? Is it not? Is it true? Is it not? Sebab why the question is still lingering is simple. They did not show the elder son of Endeavour punya scene mati. Dia just tunjuk mamat tu, oh nak aku, kesian kau dah tak ada dengan kita, aku setiap hari bla 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 bla. And there's a portrait of him. So
50-50? 70-30?
Aku rasa there is too many things pointing to Dabi ada relation dengan Endeavour. But the real question to me is, adakah Dabi ialah anak kandung Endeavour ataupun adik ke, saudara ke, which is like okay, tak syok, because there is no reason for him to look at Endeavour and call out nama penuh Endeavour, kau tahu. Mana ada orang bengang, so bengang with a hero, they will call out by your full name.
Betul.
So dia mesti ada link. Cuma I just hoping lah, please lah, let it be the anak sulung dia. They'll be like, yes, janganlah pull off another get 10. Tak adalah.
Sama-sama kita nantikan sekiranya that thing comes true or not.
I'm waiting for the reveal. The face will
One
like,
of these days. Yeah. Hopefully
It'll be interesting in season 6 when Dabi nak reveal himself. Actually, I am Endeavour's. Okay, I have to go now.
Get is calling. Get is calling. I have to go now.
tapi nama.
I have to save it to 10.
Tiba-tiba dah video Getan Okay, seterusnya Kudo mengatakan RE-DESTRO surrender equivalent to backup for Shigaraki's goals. May it be financial or tech. See how they fix Toga Himiko back from near death. That's the one thing. The one that survived, was that the clone or the real Toga? Because there was a weird conversation like, I'm still alive lah, what are you talking about?
Like that was the real Toga. Dia macam ni tau. Siapa Twice dia make a full clone of Toga including her blood. So dia ambil transfuse the blood from the clone, put into Toga.
So he was lamenting that the clone died. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sampai Deshizo tu nak makan sushi pun lagi seko version of him tendang sushi tu. Lepas tu dia macam bad food. Why did you move? Aku macam, oh kau dah Shizo gila ni, kau dah betul-betul order kopi betul nak tambah susu dengan gula ni macam. Dia
macam he went back to the part where dia mental dia ada split.
Yeah.
So aku rasa under there might be a condition for him to unleash sad man's parade, that he needs to suffer so much pain and he gains back his clarity, dia punya otak yang bercelaru ni kan jadi combine balik jadi satu, baru he can unleash the sad man's parade again. It might be to lock his power lah, kalau tidak he'll be broken good, dia punya power tu.
Yeah, it's like he
can
get nerf
infinite copies.
Yeah, he gets nerf he gets nerf for the series Kalau tidak, he can just take on everybody man. Kalau kau ada 1000 kopi, kau nak lawan dengan hero kita, nothing lah. All night.
Yang scary tu kan, he can duplicate to almost perfect levels the power and the thinking tau.
Yeah.
So,
although they do get progressively weaker, satu tenang tu dah hancur, but still
30 even pre-awakening Shigaraki mencukup lah. The whole town will get destroyed kot.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't just clone himself, he can clone other people too. Gila.
People he can make clones who also think like the original.
Yeah.
It's like kalau he actually master the clones can master the ability to use the full power of the originals, it will be very scary.
That would be like a one-person Skrull army. It's like they are all twice, tapi dia boleh Skrullkan dia orang like, okay kau jadi Captain Marvel, kau jadi Captain America.
Itu yang Mamat compress ke yang magician tu cakap, Twice orang boleh tapos semua orang dia, apa cerita? Kita relax lah. What do we need to fight anymore kan?
Lepas tu ada orang cakap, compress kau buat apa lah masa perang? Aku protectkan diri aku sendiri. Situ kelakar. Like, diamlah makan sushi lah, diamlah.
Sushi mahal ni, sushi mahal.
Sushi mahal. Tapi duit tu kita orang yang bayar.
Okay, seterusnya Ian Wayan mengatakan, I would disagree about Shigaraki mempunyai higher purpose. To me, he is just pure destruction. He wants to destroy everything in society. RE-DESTRO accept Shigaraki sebab dia mempunyai real freedom. Yeah, I think dalam dia punya quote yang aku bacakan tadi, yes. The one where he said, I see it now, I can see the brilliance of these young men. They all agree with me. Kemudian dia cakap, the one where he says, it will be these young men who can laugh it off as he sees the weight of history and bloodstained destiny as a liability. So yes, Shigaraki is truly free because he doesn't care about society. So perfect lah. Bila kau nak hancurkan society, this is the motherfucker you need lah. Dan komen terakhir daripada Kudo, my take on the melutut.
Yes.
This is the ultimate minta maaf. The Japanese will melutut. Dogeza. In my humble opinion, RE-DESTRO melutut pasal kaki dia tinggal lutut. What yeah. But yeah, it's a serious thing in Japanese society. So bila kau nampak watak Jepun ni melutut tu another watak Jepun, I'm like, wow.
Actually, you can see.
Yeah.
You can see the mannerism tu kan, dia punya kneeling tu is really towards the actual Japanese style punya melutut.
The ceremonial style, right?
The tangan buka tau. So that is a big deal.
Betul.
So that is when masa tu lah Giganto menangis. Dia ni power lah, orang melutut kat dia lah.
Dia, tak silap aku, if I'm not mistaken, there is a gesture for Japan macam tangan kau meluas, tangan kau tutup tau. Kalau kau tutup is different. Kau luas macam kau humble down. You totally humble down your dignity for the higher person in front of you actually.
Betul. Pretty cool. Okay guys, so dengan itu kita akan ke babak menarik kita yang terakhir. Babak menarik kita yang terakhir adalah Paranormal Liberation Front, di mana League of Villains dan Meta Liberation Army bergabung menjadi suatu gerakan yang lebih mengancam. So kita ada monolog panjang gila babi daripada RE-DESTRO. Aku akan bacakan. Dia mengatakan, "Welcome, I am RE-DESTRO of the Meta Liberation Army. From now on, the Meta Liberation Army shall be reborn. Up until that very day, I had been treating the League of Villains as a threat. I had no doubt about that belief, but I was too narrow-minded. I was shackled by my bloodline and the creed. At that moment, I witnessed the true form of liberation. This is not submission. I believe Tomura Shigaraki is the true liberator. I'm stepping down for what I've been baptized by the sheer respect I have for him. The Liberation Army will be reborn with Tomura Shigaraki as the Grand Commander. We will walk the path of a more profound liberation. The Meta Liberation Army and League of Villains will be united and be crowned a new name, Paranormal Liberation Front." Macam dia, masih dia cakap tu kan, he's like a fucking, it's like you're going to Sunday church and then kau dengar, even the words that he use, contohnya baptize, sheer respect, Grand Commander, semua ni are like keywords yang kau guna macam aku bukan kalah guys, dia ni lagi bagus, so therefore dia lah aku jadi commander korang from now on. So pada pendapat anda, adakah ahli-ahli Meta Liberation Army yang loyal kepada RE-DESTRO seperti Trumpet, Skeptic dan Geten akan memberontak nanti menentang pemerintahan Shigaraki? Juga pada spekulasi anda, apakah power enhancements yang bakal ditambah oleh Dr. Daruma Ujiko untuk Shigaraki nanti? So, kita mulakan dengan Anri. Silakan Anri. What are your thoughts about this scene?
Okay, this scene is actually the climax for this villain arc. It shows the conflict has ended and now there is some sort of reconciliation between these two parties. So it is necessary because for the story to progress, they have to start anew on something. So this is a symbolic punya scene lah. As far as Geten, Trumpet, semua, I think they are not just loyal to Shigaraki. They're just loyal to RE-DESTRO, and RE-DESTRO is loyal to Shigaraki for now. So this is basically a unit of loose loyalties currently. RE-DESTRO is probably sincere being loyal to Shigaraki, but I'm pretty sure if Shigaraki wavers express weakness, maybe he doesn't see him as the liberator anymore, and maybe that changes things lah. But for now, they are united as a unit, although loosely. And I think it's just like, it's like a normal organization. You have factions in the organization. ada yang hardcore, ada yang pacifist. In this case, it's just Shigaraki and RE-DESTRO punya loyalists. Currently, I'm pretty sure they are a united front for now. And as for what yang enhancement Shigaraki dapat, I think it's going to be something macam a physical enhancement. Because you have to understand at this point kan, when after the battle between RE-DESTRO dengan Shigaraki kan, they were both badly damaged. So it's one thing I like about superhero battles between a superhero and a villain in an anime setting tau. If you see macam Marvel DC kan, when two heroes fight kan, usually the at the end kan, they will probably be macam more or less the same.
Yeah,
But in this part
status
kan,
quo. It goes back to status quo, yeah.
it's a status quo. But in this case kan, there was some real sacrifices tau. RE-DESTRO lost both legs,
Yeah.
and Shigaraki, he lost dia punya left arm and dia punya left leg. Remember, he had to limp masa dia gerak dekat RE-DESTRO. And at the end,
He fell after
No,
that.
he didn't fail. RE-DESTRO patahkan tangan dan kaki dia during battle. So at the end of this scene, right, he was actually wearing a macam metal cast on his left leg and right leg.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this enhancement is going to be a physical enhancement, because I tak sedar. I think after this, right, Shigaraki tak muncul in the manga directly much tau. So
well,
he was,
if you remember, before the Deka City My Villain Academia arc started, there was the sign where he was being shocked by Dr. Ujima.
yeah.
And then we went into the story. So I guess he's recuperating. That's why we're not going to see him for a while, right?
Yeah. So after the recuperation, I don't know what sort of enhancements he's going to get. Maybe it's cybernetic, maybe it's some sort of nano machine, or this is all science fiction. Doctors involved, anything could happen. So that's my guess lah. But I would say physical enhancement, because right now Shigaraki punya power, dia punya the disruptor wave thing, whatever you want to call it, is overpowered enough. So all he has to do is actually control it and make sure that he can last when he controls it. So I think it's going to be a physical enhancement, because in terms of power quote alone,
Dah okay
it's
dah.
more, it's okay. Memang dah memadai lah, more than enough. Who can beat this guy now?
You know, Dr. Ujima is the guy that made high-end Nomus, right? What's stopping him from giving another 9 to 8 powers to Shigaraki, right?
Yeah, the only drawback, right, if you put too much power into one person kan, sometimes it's a huge risk. Kadang-kadang maybe it will limit the original power.
It might be, yeah.
It might be. We do not know this for certain. Like I said, he doesn't appear much after this arc. I think this arc you have one or two arcs until you reach the manga. So we're heading there.
Betul. Nazir, pada pendapat kau, adakah Shigaraki 2.0 akan jadi macam high-end Nomu? Tiba-tiba ada self-regenerating, tangan boleh tumbuh balik lah apa lah. Silakan.
Aku tak rasa it will be that extreme, sebab sekarang ni aku rasa apa yang dia akan fokus is mostly physical enhancement. Something will happen between him and Gigantomachia. Maybe we will see artificial one for all, maybe open all for one punya artificial.
Macam dalam movie kan kau ada 7 ke 8 kan, the second movie. 9. So might be Mamat ni pun macam Gigantomachia ada like 10 kuasa ke apa, you know.
Yeah, so aku rasa apa yang akan jadi, kita maybe akan nampak macam maybe season 6 kita akan nampak Shigaraki boleh kawal 2 atau 3 kuasa dulu untuk biasakan badan dia. So dari situ dia build up sebelum maybe sebelum dia terima kuasa all for one daripada the OG dia, daripada bapa angkat dia. Maybe this is way of to his body to cope become the shell of a power actually. Maybe. And also aku tak rasa Gaten semua akan cuba lawan balik the new Paranormal Liberation Front, sebab kalau tak dia semua bungkus, sebab kita dah nampak apa twice the whole semuanya macam have their own enhancement. Come on, takkan korang tengok another segment parade by twice kan? Of course, people will die macam tu je.
Betul.
So yeah, aku rasa it's gonna be like a peaceful punya ending. It's gonna be peaceful until season 6, until movie. So we just see for how long lah, sebab aku tak rasa lepas ni akan ada. Okay, next will be another fight for season 6. But
nanti kita bincangkan season 6 dalam segmen seterusnya. Don't worry. So Shaz, kita dah mula nampak cracks bila Trumpet cakap macam dia tak puas hati when dia tengok bos dia jadi macam macai je, macam okay, you want me to go away, okay, I will go away. So is this the beginning of the cracks within the Paranormal Liberation Front? Your thoughts?
This is dia macam, okay, firstly the whole organisation tu is like a holy crusade tau. You have people, people of ability at the top, charismatic leader. So it has almost like a religious punya overtones, the grand commander and everything. So now it's like the one true God has returned. Even Destro himself was like referring to a greater concept, or you can put it as God. So dalam case ni, Shigaraki is being acknowledged as this is the God that we've been waiting for. True absolute freedom to use dia punya quirks without care for the past and always looking forward. You tak ada macam bound by tradition, bound by the past, bound by rules and all that. RE-DESTRO himself was bound by a lot of rules that he himself set up. And he was taught, oh ni role kau kena buat macam ni, kau kena buat macam ni. So kan, he realized he himself wasn't fully living the full dream. So bila kena somebody at Shigaraki punya level dengan dia punya Messiah complex tu, diorang macam like, oh, our savior, has arrived. So that's why they follow them. Trump, Getan aku rasa tak ada problem. Dia ni bukan schemer. He's just saya budak baik, saya nak tolong RE-DESTRO sebab I believe in the ideal. So now when you have somebody which is the embodiment of RE-DESTRO and ultimately Destro himself punya full ideals, why should I betray him? He is our ultimate goal. And in a world where the strongest will lead, which Getai pun ada mention kan, I will follow the strongest. Simple as that. Cuma yang aku rasa Trumpet dengan skeptic tu will cause problems in the future. RE-DESTRO not so much. RE-DESTRO takkan buat hal.
So you mean Trumpet dengan skeptic will like make their own faction but to try to like do some machinations?
Aku rasa they will cause some machinations sebab we can look at this kalau from a corporate punya standpoint. Bayangkan tiba-tiba Microsoft buy over Apple. Semua orang Apple akan bengang tu. Lepas tu Microsoft kata no more creativity, no more Apple iPhone, no more this, no more that.
Ironically now, Surface Go is way better than iOS. I would say as an Android user, in terms of creativity, the creativity is coming out of Microsoft, not out of Apple. Especially after dia punya founder Steve Jobs dah mati lah. They're just making the same shit.
The creativity dah mati. So it becomes
Surface Go, wow.
Yeah, for skeptic dengan Trumpet, this is like a hostile takeover. And the way RE-DESTRO gave out the power was like, macam tu je ke? It was like, we have found our savior, Lord and Savior. Whoa, hey, God has arrived. Yeah.
Dia punya itulah speech dia was like so rosy. Dia macam before this I was like tersalah, aku tersalah dogma. Sekarang I have seen the light. I have been baptized in sheer respect. Aku macam, fuck lah. You talking a lot of cock lah, bro. You talking a lot of cock.
Tapi it's betul because he is like a religious fanatic. You bayangkan a religious fanatic all this while believing in a certain concept and everything. Tiba-tiba mama tu keluar dari muka kau tu macam like Lepas tu dengan power dia, lepas tu dia pandang kau sekali, kemudian aku dah tak ada kuasa dah. Oh shit. Memang confirm lah, is somebody you will follow lah.
Betul. Alright, aku akan bacakan beberapa komen daripada penonton di rumah sekarang. Pertama, Kudo memberi trivia ya. Dabi punya look on the stage yang kita nampak dalam overlay situ. How do I point there?
Point to the right, you're right.
Okay, situ ya. Overlay ni nampak tak sleeve dia tengah dising-sing kan. Sebenarnya mangaka Horikoshi mendapat ilham ketika memasak Maggi dalam volume 25 ada manga. Oleh itu sebab itulah Dabi punya lengan dising-singkan ketika dia masak Maggi menggunakan hob on the stove. Oh, nice trivia bro. Tapi it makes sense lah. For a fire wielder, you want easy access. Kau tak nak accidentally burn off your baju, unless you have some special molecular synthetic shit yang Johnny Storm pakai so that he can always flame on and then he doesn't end up bogil. But yeah, it kind of makes sense. For somebody without synthetic suits, kau terpaksa menyingsingkan lengan kau because the fire is going to come from here. Pretty nice. Kemudian kita ada satu soalan spekulasi ya. Untuk panelis, adakah Deku anak kepada All For One? Sebab masa kecil, Dr. Ujiwa yang rawat Deku sama macam doktor dengan All For One.
Ni aku baru baca dekat the fan group kan. Some people like speculating benda ni. Oh, Deku anak kepada All For One. To me, no. Sebab aku tak rasa mak Deku ni is a player. Dia takkan just like, hey, I'm here. And it's like, oh no, I got baby. Tak ada. Aku rasa dia bukan macam tu.
Anri, your thoughts?
Aku tak ada evidence sebab aku based on personality dia je lah. Aku tak boleh terima tu.
Bro, orang boleh berubah, okay, over 20 years. Dia boleh jadi insaf, okay. Anri, was she a player? Was she shagging with All For One?
It's not confirmed in the manga. In the hentai dojin, yes. But in the manga, no. The source material didn't tell dia punya who's the father yet. Some people joke because of the green hair, bapak dia mungkin Zoro from One Piece sebab dia sesat all the time.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah,
I can see the mom as like a pirate punya ho. It's like ho ho ho.
But the father hasn't made an appearance, so I wouldn't rule out All For One as the father. Mungkin mak dia got together. This is a long shot. I think like 0.0001% because tak confirm kan. The possibility is there statistically. Maybe. But I doubt it lah.
Yeah.
It's not confirmed yet.
All For One would have been too old by that time to even shag the mom.
All For One has a lot of powers. For him to get hard and get a woman pregnant, I don't think it requires much power.
Okay, Nazir, spekulasi kau. Adakah Deku anak All For One?
Wow, this is a wild speculation lah.
You're in Brazil though.
Well, mak Deku chubby tau.
Sekarang cabi.
Sekarang, masa dulu dia thin tau.
Basket might be sebab kita boleh nampak perangai mak Deku ni quite kelingi dengan Deku tau. So, in some sense we can say that something is happening. This is like 0.00001% punya possibility, but it's never ever zero.
Okay.
But that's the thing. Bapak Deku tak pernah being shown in the anime sekarang. Manga aku tak tahu lah Anri, but the only thing kita tahu yang bapak dia boleh keluarkan api. Setahu aku.
Yeah.
Bapak dia punya
fire breathing.
Ya.
Oh, fire breathing.
Dia kata bapak dia boleh like keluarkan api and mak dia boleh levitate something actually. Both
Yeah.
so for Deku yang become powerless, yang quoteless ni, aku macam sebab aku rasa okay, Deku is a late bloomer jugalah actually. Tapi dia lagi lambat daripada Shigaraki. Shigaraki being pushed over the edge, itu yang buat dia burst out. But for Deku, aku rasa eventually the quote will appear. But kalau kita balik pada emak Deku, well, I don't think only all for one. Maybe other guy pun ada jugalah. Who knows, right? Who knows?
Betul. I mean, kita ada speculation ya. Ana Zainal cakap, oh, kalau ayah dia boleh buat api, bapak dia endeavor kot.
Oh, step brother, step sister, yes.
Oh my god. Aku tak boleh terima tu kalau bapak dia endeavor.
Oh, no wonder kakak Shoto sangat attract pada Deku. Oh my goodness, it now makes sense.
Oh my god. No.
That's what we wanted. Hello step bro.
Hello step bro.
Oh, tapi kan aku rasa confirm bukan endeavor. Dia kahwin pun sebab nak dapat anak yang ada power, bukan sebab
yes.
The wife is hot.
He believes in eugenics. That's how fucked up endeavor is. Yeah.
Unlike Mak Bakugo, who is hot, dia tak kahwin. Endeavor tak kahwin sebab bini ni lawa. Tak. It's like nak fire and ice.
Yes, fire and ice. Alright. Ian Wayan menambah ya. Sebenarnya ayah Deku kerja luar negara lah. Sebab tu dia tak ada kat rumah.
Tak. See, this is the problem tau. There is a story that has been told until today. Tak pernah ada satu gambar pun bapak dia. Perkahwinan punya foto tak ada. Masa anak lahir pegang baby tak ada. Hati. Yang ada apa? Patung-patung all my. Alah nak speculate kan? Let's go all the way.
That's the wrong way. Kalau sebenarnya dia anak all my.
Ambil kau. So all my kan tak ada power kan?
Tak boleh lah. Aku tak boleh terima lah. Because dia jadi macam Skywalker Saga tau. Everything in the whole world is connected to one fucking family. Aku tak boleh terima tu. Even the fact yang All for One take over Nana punya cucu, aku dah tak boleh terima lah. Pada aku is like, that's too close to home, man. Janganlah semua keganasan dalam dunia ni is connected to one fucking family, man. It's too much. It's too much of a leap of logic. It cannot make sense that, you know, kalau boleh Ray Skywalker
asyik pusing kat situ je.
Asyik Palpatine lineage, asyik Skywalker lineage. Come on lah. What about Broom Boy, Jedi Broom Boy tu?
Itu anak Palpatine yang haram ke 34.
Itulah kan. Okay, so Ian Wayan menambah ya. Lagipun Deku pernah jumpa All for One muda dalam Visions One for All dalam mimpi. Tak komen pun macam ayah dia. If you've never seen pictures of his father or pictures of his father holding him as a baby or his father married, you know, wedding photo, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But I'm quite surprised that according to Anri, 200 chapters later, this shit has not been covered yet.
I tak recall the father making appearance in the picture.
That's crazy. 200 chapters from now.
In the My Hero Academia wiki, right, it stated that the father memang has some sort of pyro power and the mother can gerakkan things with her quirk. But the thing is, the mother didn't actually focus on her training to use her quirk. So that's why she's just a normal housewife.
Ambil remote daripada meja boleh lah.
Yeah,
itu je lah.
Because if she became macam hero kan, her power could be move objects. That's actually very huge.
Is it telekinesis?
Some form of move things with your quirk. Not mine, your quirk. So it doesn't work that way. It's not like macam Jean Grey punya tu, something like that. It's something else.
Dia pernah masa dia dengan doktor, are you sure like, you know, the parents anak kau ni ada kuasa. Dia tunjuklah, aku boleh lah gerak patung tu ni pegang tangkap. So it's a very big form of attraction punya power. So the thing is, sejak dari kecil they never show Deku punya father tau. Adakah, ni kita masuk teori Brazil punya time adakah the fact that the father is working overseas all this time was a lie?
Yeah.
And that
Usually
Deku's
single mothers
father-
like to use lies like that for their young
Yeah.
child.
And the father is actually a villain that is stuck
Yeah.
with All for One punya prison sekarang ni.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah,
That would be
it's
like- Bapa aku penjahat rupanya. Oh shit.
I would like that more than kalau dia anak all for one. Anak all for one is,
Oh,
is
yes.
too much of a leap of logic.
Both
Yes,
side.
yes.
Yeah.
Kalau anak villain, there will be much more tragic or much more
Yeah.
a very good storytelling actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anri, you were saying?
yeah. I just wanted to say, my father is working overseas is better than my father went out to buy cigarettes tapi tak balik lagi.
Nangis bodoh, nangis.
You
That
have
is
that
also-
big father.
A classic trope. Yeah. My
Yep.
father went for cigarettes and never came back.
Or buy milk or whatever it is lah.
betul. Okay guys, so dengan itu berakhirlah 5 babak menarik daripada episod minggu ini. Sekarang kita bakal bincangkan harapan kami untuk episod terakhir season 5 minggu depan. So dalam previews kita dengar Deku mengatakan Tomura Shigaraki now commands the Liberation Army. After receiving this information, the heroes are now mustering their resources to face the threat. The inevitable war is nigh. Even the students of UA High are caught up in this war. The smoke signals marks the prologue of an all-out war. So aku macam sial lah, kita nak kena tunggu setahun ke untuk season 6. So judul episod minggu depan adalah The High Deep Blue Sky. Dia macam pekimak ni baru belajar guna dictionary ke apa sial. The High Deep Blue Sky. Like what the fuck? It's high but it's deep but it's a blue sky. Okay, so apakah harapan anda bagi episod minggu depan? Episod terakhir bagi musim kelima My Hero Academia. Kita mulakan dengan Nazher. Silakan Nazher. Adakah dia macam okay, kita tunjuk kau apa akan jadi, lepas tu kau kena tunggu setahun.
Ya, aku rasa macam the next week will be a slow episode. Tak ada a strong episode. I mean, next week will be macam on the current timeline sebab
The
macam
present
korang
timeline,
tahu, all
Yeah.
the MPA is 2 weeks before kan.
Yes.
Okay, so aku rasa kita sambung balik di mana kita tengok every member of lieutenant tengah duduk dekat laptop masing-masing tengah do some work. So aku rasa kita dapat tengok maybe Hawk on some action or something maybe. Kita dah lama tak nampak Hawk kan. So
Betul.
we will see Hawks, we will see some kind of Shigaraki punya pre-planning on how dia nak bawa this paranormal liberation front untuk berlawan dengan dunia. And also we will see how each of the member composing their thought ataupun they are preparing for the battle actually. This is yang aku rasa yang much yang will be happen sebab kita dah tengok every of the member diorang have some kind of self upgrade, well not all but some, but I think kita akan nampak maybe on the season 6 Dabi will be get much more spotlight. Who knows, right? Maybe
I was hoping for it to be this season, but I guess it's going to be next
Yeah.
season ago.
Sebab aku nak tengok Dabi dengan the lizard tu dapat spotlight. And also
Spinner,
dengan
yeah, Spinner.
Spinner dengan yang siapa yang sebelah Spinner tu yang macam yang pakai coat tu, aku tak tahu apa nama dia.
Akan
Yang
remember
compress.
Compress ya, compress.
Compress. So aku nak these tiga kalau boleh have some moment dah. Sebab Compress kita tahu apa power dia. Dia boleh suruh orang dalam jenis bola. That's very powerful quote actually. And Spinner aku nak juga show some skill lah. Sebab Spinner dengan Froggy punya kuasa lebih kurang sama je. Basically they all like can stick on the wall apa semua kan. So sebab Spinner carry the wheel of siapa pempat tu yang the first start
Stain.
Stain. So basically Spinner carry the wheel of Stain. So aku nak tengok some Stain punya move dalam spinner. Walaupun tak sama, but we see the essence of it. Itu yang aku nak tengok.
Okay. Shaz, so we saw in the preview the kids was fighting robots. Is this the continuation of the lame All Might joke? So finally we get to see that All Might's teaching them how to fight robots. Silakan.
I feel like the final episode ni, kalau ikut trend anime lain lah kan, they will tend to have the 24th or 25th episode, the penultimate episode, and the big bang. Lepas tu, the next episode tu will be a resolution punya episode. So this feels like a resolution episode. Dia orang akan Hawks akan leak out the information there has been a change in power and everything. And sebab aku rasa at that point of time Hawks baru nak dapat nampak all this development kan. So there was a time between antara dia punya infiltration and dia tengah tengok League of Villains meeting, and now most likely dia akan finally mention lah that the timetable dah berubah. So that will cause the hero society to react and prepare for war. So it's more of like the students and the hero society preparing for season 6, which is expected to be all-out war lah.
Nice. Yeah, kalau ikut tradisi memang it's gonna be nothing much but just setting up a lot of things kan. Silakan, your hope for next week.
Next week is basically they were going to set up and sow the seeds for the advancement of plot for season 6.
What is it called? Is it something war arc?
We can call it the war arc, but it's going to be a big exposure in season 6. This is the part where a lot of people has been waiting for a long time to happen. They wanted something to be resolved. It's going to be resolved. They're going to see a lot of action in season 6. But I have to admit, during the first few episodes, mungkin we got some slow episodes because the build-up is necessary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I don't know what to say anymore aside from spoiling it, but this is just a setup episodes for next season.
And what is your expectation? Another 1 year wait or a 6 month wait?
Okay. I don't think we have to wait for 1 year. I think we just have to wait for next year.
So it'll be a spring series.
Yeah, I hope it would be a spring series. I don't think it's going to be winter because it's not confirmed for winter yet. So earliest spring, and because of you have to understand, Netflix said that they're going to do 80 projects next year. My Hero Academia could be one of those projects where they push money enough to push production. So hopefully my random guess is true. So I hope they can push the production until next year, so that they can at least have the momentum going, because they just have a season 5 is, I know it has some good episodes, but basically it's a disappointing episode because there's a lot of slow episodes for this season. Whether we like it or not, we disagree or agree, we have to understand there was a lot of wasted potential for this season. Banyak benda yang boleh berlaku, they didn't take it. We could have more villain episodes. We could have more villain development, but we didn't do that because we're just setting up for a movie. Maybe they're going to push production because they want to, regain the momentum. They don't want to make us feel that pissed off from this season kan, so that we can look forward to the season cepat. So that's my expectations.
Okay, so kita ada satu komen menarik daripada Kudo yang mengatakan, my harapan untuk next week, Bish episode part 2 version jeram dan berkelah. Yes,
MCO.
bukan one piece ya, tapi two string bikinis please, string bikinis, two piece please, not one piece.
Come
No
on,
bikini.
office.
kita dah dapat One Piece hari tu masa dia orang ada setting up the movie. So itulah I think dengan itu berakhirlah kita punya discussion malam ini. Terima kasih kepada semua orang kerana menonton. Terima kasih juga kepada para panelis kita, Anri, Alwi, Kaki Manga, Nazher daripada Facebook page Screenbite dan Shaz Kaki Anime kita. One more episode to go guys. Our half year journey is ending.
One
Jumpa
more week.
lagi di minggu depan. Majulah fandom untuk negara. Thank you for watching guys.